Chess kids, have you ever run a race while playing chess? Well, today we're going to. It is the first ever ChessKid YouTube puzzle race. Now, here are the rules as I have made them up. I have given myself a brand new ChessKid account with the rating of 600. And let's go ahead and put 30 minutes on the clock. The question is, how high can I get my ChessKid rating in 30 minutes? Before we get going and before we start the clock, why don't you get your guess ready? Can I get to 1,000? I hope so. Can I double my 600 rating and get to 1,200? Hopefully. What about 1,800? Ooh, now it's getting tough. Could I get to 2,000? Yeah, not so sure, but maybe. Go ahead and get your answer ready. Memorize it in your head. Write it down if you don't think you have a good memory. We work on the honor system here at ChessKid, so we're going to believe you no matter what you say. But we've got 30 minutes on the clock, and the timer begins now. I started my own timer, by the way. Okay, hopefully I don't get any puzzles wrong. You can also sort of make a guess as to how many I get wrong. Okay, I got 5 points there. All right, now this one I'm going to play a little chord warming. I'm going to check, and I'm going to checkmate with the other rook. I'm not going to go as fast as I possibly can because I am going to try to give you some explanation to the moves. Okay, so I've raised my rating about 20 points. Now already I don't know the answer to this one. Oh, you know what? I was looking at like checkmating on this pawn, like queen takes pawn or something, but I can't figure out how to get to their piece over there. So sometimes the answer is right in front of your face. Captures queen. I've got 35 seconds done and I've gained about 35 points. All right, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay, well, we're in check. And you know what? We've got a queen and a bishop both aiming at the knight. That's a battery. So there's really 2 attackers and only 1 defender. Somebody eat that knight and now they go, ooh, the computer's making me do 2 moves. Now, one nice thing in ChessKid Puzzle Land is that if the computer makes you make a second move, that means your first move is right. So you should think of that as a reward, not as a punishment. Okay, gonna be a back rank mate. You see my battery on the E file? 2 rooks are better than 1. Rook takes, rook takes, rook takes. How many points did I gain? 5 more points, 640. Okay, king over. No, I don't even know what color I am. Okay, I'm black. It says on the right side of the screen, I'm black. You know what? I think I gotta get my pawn moving and grooving. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to promote with check. I go boom. He goes bang. I go boom. Oh. He goes bang. Okay, if he had kept pushing his pawn, I was going to promote my pawn with check. Remember, his king was back there? Okay, pawns don't move that way. But you know what I'm saying? The pawn becomes a queen. Hello. And my queen should be able to stop those remaining pawns. And I got 5 more points, okay? All right, I'm just going to capture a free piece. I don't think that one needs any explanation. Ooh, I got 16 points because I went so fast. Ooh, another battery. And the weak spot in chess is the square f7. Do you see f7? The knight's on f7. Now the bishop eats the knight. It's checkmate because the bishop has the queen as a helper. Okay, I'm almost at 700. This is a simple back rank mate, chess kids. We just capture the rook. We just capture the bishop. We're eating everything. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the first rank. Okay, the king moves to f7. You know what I was going to do? I was going to play queen b3 because that pins the knight to the king. Remember what a pin is? Hopefully. But you know what? I can just take the knight. So why make things complicated? Keep it simple, silly. Call that the KISS principle. Keep it simple, silly. Oh, you know what? We have our first queen and helper mate. We have a queen. We have a rook.
Hello.
Queen, rook. Queen, meet Mr. Rook. Rook, meet Mrs. Queen. Okay, and now we just take the pawn with the queen, and the rook is there for backup, and that is Hakimat. Okay, we're going to move on. I'm up to about 700 or so. Ooh, this is back rank mate because the knight guards the king's escape square. So my rook travels up to the back rank. The bishop goes in the way. This time we only get breakfast. We don't get lunch or dinner. Or maybe you could say the king is dinner? Or is the king dessert? I don't know. But look at this. It is a ton of back rank mates. Would you say I have a plethora of mates? You're gonna have to look that word up, chess kids. Another back rank mate. Look at that. That pattern, if it's not in your head before this video, should be in your head now. Okay, I've gained about 130 points, about 3 minutes plus off the timer. Okay, now this is really starting to get a little bit tricky because my king can move out of danger, but I believe that Senor Computer wants me to play rook to g2. Right? By the way, senor is Spanish, and I said that in a French accent, so that's me being a little bit silly. Rook to g2. No matter where the queen moves, I was going to play queen takes pawn on the next turn. Now the computer is being a little bit silly by giving me a bishop, but I will just take the bishop. And okay, so far, haven't gotten any wrong. That's good. I'm going to guess I'm going to get at least 1 wrong. Okay, this one, I think my pawn is just home free. Just push the pawn. And I can push it again, even though white has a dark squared bishop. There's not much that white can do, and I get a queen. and I'm a very happy fun master. Ooh, back rank mate. Okay, I don't think I need to waste any time explaining this one again. I want to go for maximum pointage. Wait, it's back rank mate again. Notice the queen. Look at the queen spying the escape square. That means the rook does the heavy lifting. That's checkmate. Again, the king can't move here because of the queen hiding on c7. Okay, moving on. And whoa, I was going to play back rank mate. And then I realized I'm in check. So the rules of chess dictate that I captured this rook. Okay, let's move on. Everything is good. Oh, the rook belongs behind the passed pawn. If you've never heard me say that before, well, you're hearing me say it now. And the pawn is just shepherded up the board. And even if the black rook went back to a8, I would have pushed again, and black would have to give away his rook for my new queen, and I would be, well, I'd be 5 points richer. Actually, I guess 4 points richer, because I'm giving away a pawn for a rook. Okay. I think, ooh, this is the first time I've got to play a fancy tactic. This is a fork, chess kids. Hopefully you've watched my earlier YouTube video where I've gone over all the different tactics. Queen attacks the king and the knight, so that's our first fork of the day. The king would say to himself, we grab the knight. We're almost at 800. Okay. The puzzle race continues. And you know what? I was trying to win the knight, and I just simply forgot. Fun Master Mike, you're being silly. The computer is loving some back rank mates. Okay, you're just going to capture a free knight, and that's also going to fork the king and the rook. So I'm winning a bounty of points. 3 points for the knight, 5 points for the rook, 8 points total. And you know what? We seem to have moved on from the back rank mate phase. Now we're into the fork phase. Knight to f7 forks the king and the rook, and the knight has the support of the bishop. And then we capture. Okay, we're up to 830. Seems pretty likely I'm going to get to 1,000. I don't know about 2,000. If you want to revise your guess now that you've seen my speed, go ahead. Okay, knight g6 forks the king and the queen and the rook, the whole family. We call it a royal fork, and let's eat the queen because the queen's worth more than the rook. Okay, why am I not getting this right away? Rook a8 is check. Ooh, it's a mate in 3. I believe I've done a YouTube video on mate in 3. Here we go. Check. Okay, technically it's mate in 4 because the computer threw out a speed bump. That's our second move. And the computer gave up, but I'm going to tell you what would have happened. I'm going to tell you. All right, if the king moves, then I was going to move this rook here check, because the rook has the support of the pawn. Then the king would end up being on c1, and then I would have moved the other rook all the way up to a1. Now, this is not an analysis board, so I can't show you, but hopefully you figured it out. The king moves here, the rook moves here, the king travels again, the rook moves up, and oh yeah, my use of arrows would be a lot better if I'd done that the first time. Okay. Ooh, I think we have a discovered attack. Do you see the rooks lined up with each other? I can even draw an arrow, because I just figured it out. Now I want to move the bishop, but I want to give check, so you don't have time to take my rook. So I'm going to take this guy. Oh, it's check. The knight takes, and it's even better than a rook. It's actually going to be a checkmate. I don't know why the computer gave up here, because the computer could have gone all the way to mate. If the knight blocks, which is the only move, rook takes knight is mate, because the bishop guards the rook, and our knight takes away the king's escape square. So I guess the computer just didn't feel like getting checkmated today. All right, what are we doing here? I think we are forming a battery. If we play queen check, our rook and our queen are working together, and then the queen takes the bishop. So that's some good teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, and teamwork got us 14 points. Okay, here we go. My phone fell asleep. I'm gonna turn my timer back on. Hopefully on your screen, nothing fell asleep. Okay, about 8 minutes are done, and I see checkmate in 2. Don't even know what to say, except I'm gonna show you the mate. Queen goes to g6 check. The king moves, queen takes pawn, is a mate, because the bishop takes away the king's escape square. Okay, let's move on. All right, I don't know what to do. Oh no, I'm losing time. Okay, I think in this position, because white has pushed the pawn in front of his king, which is usually a bad idea, I'm just going to take that pawn, and I'm going to do queen and helper mate. This time the helper is the pawn. Look how the pawn guards the queen. Yeah, little guy helping out mommy, and it's a checkmate. And I think it's mate in 3. I'm not just winning the rook. But when the queen blocks, I'm taking this, and then when the king moves, I'm taking that, and hear me now and believe me later. Yeah, that was a very bad impersonation. Okay, we're back to Forktown. Population Fun Master. Knight f5 forks the king and the queen. Let's eat the queen. We're 9 points richer. Yay! What can we buy with 9 points? I don't know. Probably one candy bar. Things are getting expensive these days. Okay. We are white, and there's too many pieces on the board for me to think. Okay, is this like a back rank mate? No. The black king has too many escape squares, like that one and that one. Is there a free capture in this position? Not really. Uh-oh. I'm going to get my first one wrong. I legit don't know. Oh, baby. Time to introduce a new concept. In chess, we say LPDO. LPDO. Loose pieces drop off. This knight is not guarded. It's loose. So we're going to play queen to b8, forking the king and the knight. That was tricky because look at how many black pieces were on the e file. I had to find one of them that had no defender. Okay, so we got that one up. Oh, it's another knight fork. Knights love to fork. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, if we take, we lose our own queen, then we get the rook back. See how the knight does like a double jump, like checkers? Now I'm just taking a little pause here because sometimes we can save our queen with check and then eat the other person's queen. Eat is a technical term. The problem is if we check, then white can save his own queen. So I think we were right the first time. I think we're taking, and then we're taking, and our knight just did a double jump. And yes, checkers is suddenly part of chess. Okay, here we want to do back rank mate, but our rook doesn't have a defender. If our rook moves up to d1, well, it'd be hungry, hungry hippos for the white team. The king would just capture. So what we're going to do is we're going to check this king away. Okay, the computer's throwing up a speed bump. We're going to check this king away, like I said. And after check comes checkmate. Rook to d1. Czechoslovakia, population chess kid. All right, what are we doing here? I think the knight is loose. We're going to play check. And by the way, if the queen blocks, which it didn't, I would have then taken the bishop. But since the queen stayed still, I'm going to take the knight. And there we go. All right, we're up to 9:55. A little bit more than 10 minutes is done. And I think I need like a voice break. Are we unionized here in ChessKid YouTube? That was a fork. I didn't even explain it, but that was a fork of the king and the queen. Okay, the queen moves to f6. There is no break here. If you need to break, go ahead, but I'm not stopping. Oh no, not stopping at all. All right, I think we just have 2 attackers on the knight and 1 defender. So let's capture. And let's capture again. And 2 is better than 1. In pretty much everything except homework assignments. You don't want 2 homework assignments. Okay. I think it's just a back rank mate. Yeah. Okay, I'm almost at 1,000. Is this the puzzle where I get 1,000? Let's have the queen and the rook team up into a battering ram. Queen take should be checkmate because the queen is the helper of the rook. And booyah, we are over 1,000 and we've got almost 2/3 of our time left. Can we get to 2,000? Probably not. Our bishop is lined up with the queen, but bishops don't jump over rooks. That's a pro tip. You heard it here first. Bishops don't jump over rooks, but you know what we can do? We can sacrifice our rook with check, and then, I mean, to make sure there's no mate. There's no mate. So we're going to capture the queen, because capturing the queen, I think, is the second best move in chess. Okay, 2 attackers on the knight. We're going to capture with our smaller value piece. Then, not only do we win a pawn, but we're going to win either the rook or, white guarded the rook. So now we're going to capture the bishop because the queen is not guarding the bishop. You might say, it's guarding that bishop, and technically you'd be true, but you knew what bishop I meant. The bishop that used to be on d3. Okay. This is queen helper mate 101. Queen h7, and that's it. 11 extra points. We're up to 1,035. Okay. My chess rating is doing better than my stock market portfolio. That's actually a joke. Both are doing well. Let's keep moving. And it's a fork. The knight. Ooh, wait a second, actually. That's a fork too. But if the king takes the knight and we take that knight, that's just a trade. Now, if the king takes the knight, if our rook moves there, it's almost mate, but the king sneaks out. So when you see a good move in chess, look for a better one. I thought knight c3 was the best move, but I still looked for a better one. I don't think rook e5 is as good, but in chess, you've got to slow down a little bit. I know I'm going super fast, but that's because I've played this game once before. Okay, so capturing the rook was the best move. I am flummoxed, which is a grown-up word for confused. I thought there might be a way to win this knight, but I think we're just taking this pawn, forking the king and the rook, and the computer gave up. Because if the queen captures, our bishop's waiting for the queen, and if the king moves, we eat the rook, and we're at 1,061. 1,061. That's the year that the Battle of Hastings took place. Just kidding, you don't know what that is, and I'm not quite right. I think it was 5 years later. Oh, wait, if I take my time on this puzzle, the computer might give me exactly 5 points. And then my rating would be 1066. And then we could talk about the actual Battle of Hastings, but I actually don't know much about it, except that it took place somewhere between France and England. Okay, all right, so I'm taking, did I get, oh, I got too many points. Okay, what happened in the year 1068? I have no idea. Probably the battle was still taking place. Okay, but we've got a battle in front of us. The rook is lined up with the queen, and I think we're going to give away our bishop. We've seen this pattern before today. Then we take, and anytime in chess you win a queen for a rook and a minor piece, you have usually done well. Okay, remember loose pieces drop off. The rook is loose. Let's play queen c3 check. We are required by the International Chess Teacher Code to look at checks and captures every turn. Ooh, baby. This is going to be a fun one. Rook a1. Normally, when someone attacks my queen, I move her away, but there are exceptions to every rule, and this is one of those times. We lost our queen. We get the queen right back, but it's check. And then we get a bonus rook at the end. Who doesn't want a bonus? When you start your working career and your boss gives you a bonus, you will say thank you. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I think this, wow, they're getting hard. That's what happens in ChessKid land when your puzzle rating goes up. I think we're going to take the bishop, and then when the knight takes back, both the knight and the rook will be loose, and then queen to g2 would fork those two pieces, and that's a hard puzzle because you actually have to set up the fork in the first move and then play the fork in the second move. Now the knight guards the rook, so the computer's tricking me. I'm not going to capture the rook. I'm not going to capture the pawn. I'm going to capture the knight because I am not in the business of giving away queens. We have passed the halfway point. If your timer is the same as my timer, and frankly, it should be, we are just a little bit past halfway. Okay, I'm going to play a check. There's only one legal move, and now we are going to deflect the black king away from the queen again. Hopefully you've watched my YouTube video and all the tactics. Bishop takes pawn, and the king has to move away from the defense of the queen. Now the funny thing is, if my king was on a light square, this bishop could move and give check, and then discover attack my queen, but my king is on a dark square. Also, my king has a nice warm blanket of pawns. Okay, we are in check. I don't know what to do because the computer has just discover attacked our rook. What? Now I want to play this move, which checks the king and the rook, but you can't answer a check to your king with a check to the other person's king. Life doesn't work that way. So I think we're taking the knight. Oh no, I'm going to get one wrong. I can feel it in my bones. What do we take with? Oh, I know the answer. We take with the rook. And now if he takes our rook on e2, we take his rook. And if he takes our rook on c4, then we take his other rook. Yeah, okay. That's actually simpler than I thought. The funny thing is it had nothing to do with the knight fork, okay? That was a weird puzzle. The knight fork had nothing to do with the puzzle, although I convinced myself that it did. Okay, we must capture this pawn, right? It's the only good check on the board. And the computer blocked with the queen, and we're going to deflect the king away from the queen again. We've already seen a similar version to this. We are up to 1143. I'm going to play a really quick checkmate because I want a lot of points. I want 17 points, and now they're in my bag, and I want more points. Let's take the queen, and let's do a back rank mate. And I know I'm not explaining them quite as much because I want to get a really high rating. Some of you might be like, Fun Master Mike, stop explaining them. Just make the moves because I predicted you would get a 10,000 rating. Well, I've got some news, chess kids. I think 10,000 is a little bit too much. But I'm going to play this check. This is our first skewer. Skewer's a lot like pid, except the more important piece is in front. In this case, the king. When the king moves, we're going to eat the rook. So king moves, but actually don't even care where. And by the way, our rook keeps an eye on this pawn. In case the pawn makes a promotion, our rook would just, take whatever's on f1. Let's keep moving. So far, I'm at least glad I haven't gotten any wrong. Ooh, you know what? A pattern we saw earlier in this video is going to actually happen. Rook check. Do you remember this puzzle that I tried to show you arrows? Remember my first puzzle where I finally remembered there are arrows? This was actually the final checkmate that it would have looked like. So there you go. Art imitates life. No, that's the wrong usage of that term. Everything comes full circle. Yeah, that's actually a better usage. All right, now what are we doing here? Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm not stuck. Knight to b5 forks the queen and the bishop. The queen didn't save herself, but if she had, we would have won the bishop. Now we're just going to take the queen, and we got a queen. And even though we lost two minor pieces, a knight and a bishop, that's 6 points, and a queen is worth more. Okay, this is actually really tricky. If I take, the bishop takes, we're doing some analysis here. Our pawn pushes, But then the bishop retreats to this square and guards the pawn's promotion square. So amazingly, I think the correct move is to push the pawn on the first move and give away our rook. That ensures a promotion. Okay, we're up to 1242. Again, no idea what historical events are happening. I think maybe the Magna Carta. Okay, that's the only thing I can think that might have happened around that year. And my producer might be looking it up and correcting me. By the way, my pawn and bishop worked pretty well together, didn't they? Okay, 1253. Ooh, is this our first remove the guard problem? It is. It is. Okay, the knight guards the rook. So we're going to chop the knight. Again, technical term. A lot of kitchen terms in chess, apparently. And then, when our rook is captured, we capture this rook back. And we have netted a knight for all of you accounting fans out there. To net is like the overall total of what you got. All right, what's going on here? Are we mating this king? Okay, this is the first puzzle where I don't see all the way to the end. I have a feeling, though. Knight check must be the first move because the king has one move. Then this is the only check. And where's the king going to go? Now we're just going to keep playing checks. And the computer gave up. The computer goes backward, back rank mate. And if the computer goes down, we can actually mate with our knight on that square or that square. So the computer did not want us to win. And that's very sad because I like to show checkmates. Okay, this is a free knight. Do I look for a better move? Yes, I look for a better move. Do I find a better move? I don't think so. That's not a good check. We lose our queen. If we go there, our knight, or his knight, captures our queen. So yeah, I think we're just taking this. And that's blocking. And oh, this is going to lead to mate. We're going to do a check. And then we're going to do a knight, helper, queen, mate. Queen, helper. Queen and helper mate, with the knight being the helper. A sort of... Not talking too clearly after 20 straight minutes of talking. Okay, the bishop is lined up with the queen. So we're going to play this move d4, attacking the queen. The queen saves herself, but then we won a knight, and we're up to 1300. Okay, rook check is a skewer of the king and the rook, and our rook was protected by our bishop the whole time. And there we go, 5 points for free. Thank you very much. It's my birthday. Okay, this is we're going to call this desperado. We have a couple terms for this in chess. If we take the queen, we lose our own queen. So in this position, you want to get something for the queen. Doesn't matter what. In this case, the rook. So we're going to give away our queen for a rook. Then we're going to capture our opponent's queen. And although our bishop would get captured here, essentially both sides lost a queen. But we got a rook for a bishop, and rooks are worth more than bishops. Okay, simple counting exercise. How many times are we threatening this rook? 3, 1. These guys count for backup 2, 3. There's only 2 defenders. We're going to give away our queen. And then we're going to take that one. And is the computer giving up? No. If the computer had moved the king, then our rook would have backed up to fork the queen and the king. Okay, but in any case, the computer's making our life a little bit easy. And we are up to 1344. Okay, I'm just going to play this one super quick. I'm going to get some points. Check. And then we deflect the king away from the queen. And we just got ourselves 16 points. Ooh, this one, we have to know about en passant. Remember en passant? Hopefully you know what en passant is. I don't have time to describe it to you, but I'm going to play check. When the pawn moves, remember when a pawn moves 2 squares and your pawn is right beside it, then we enlist the help of our French friends and we play en passant, which means in passing. We move the pawn to the square d3, and then the d4 pawn magically disappears. It looks like it's against the rules, but it's not. You might want to go watch our video on en passant. Okay, but we don't have time for that. What we do have time for is to win the enemy queen. The queens are lined up. So we play rook takes, rook check. And then queen takes, and we are almost 23 minutes in, and luckily, I have not goofed and made a mistake yet. Okay, but I was about to here. I was about to play queen check, to try to win that knight, but then I realized my own king was in check. Okay, I don't want to live in a world where king e7 could possibly be the right move, so it's got to be bishop takes on the first move. I mean, come on, right? It's my only other legal move. Okay, now what are we doing in this position? Wow, things are getting hard. I was going to play knight here, but you could actually just play queen takes bishop, which amounts to a trade. I think this is actually the right move on the second move. Queen check, and then when he blocks, we actually take because the queen has the protection of the knight. Oh, the computer actually wants me to capture. Okay, that was complicated. That was tough, but we got her done. We got her done. All right, so pawn to d6, and if I take this, and then that takes back, then the queen is overworked. Yes. We take this. Now the queen's trying to guard the bishop and the rook. We're threatening both. We want to take the rook first, then we take the bishop, And I think we just cleared 1,400. Okay, what are we doing next? Well, if we take the knight, we lose our rook. So I think this is pretty simple. We just take the rook first, we take the knight second, and that's just an order of operations, right? As we used to say in math class, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And for those of you not yet in middle school, that probably doesn't make any sense. And I'm not even sure that they're still using that term anymore. Please excuse. That was parentheses, exponents. Oh, back to chess. Okay, I'm exhausting my math knowledge. I'm exhausting myself. I'm going to sacrifice my queen for the rook because that weakens the back rank. And we just played a very fancy back rank mate. All right, what's going on? The queen moved to b3. And do we just win this bishop? I think so. We take. 2 is better than 1. We already covered that. All right, I think we're checking first, and then we're mating with a pawn. Yes, could it be our first pawn mate that I can remember? Okay, now our king is stuck. Our king cannot move. But if this pawn moves, our king can then run back. So I think we just need to make a passed pawn here. I think we just push. And now we want our pawn as far away from the white king as possible. And that allows our pawn to get a touchdown on the next turn. Okay, we're almost at 1,500. I feel pretty confident. We're going to get to 1,500. I think we're going to pin the bishop to the rook here. We're going to take the rook. Now the question is, can I get to 1,800? That would be a tripling. Ooh, this is called a hook mate. One of the prettiest mates in chess. Look at it, memorize it. Oh yeah, I think that was in my ChessKid video, 10 fancy checkmates. Okay, I think we're just checking which wins the loose piece, the bishop. Yeah, I was looking for a mate, but I'll settle for a bishop. Okay, the king is moved, and I think we're going to check here.
Hello.
And the computer gave up for reasons I won't get into because I'm trying to get moving and grooving and get as many points as I can. And how do I make the black king stick to the side of the board? Ooh, I think we're going to play... Oh, we're going to play this check. I almost played this check, but you can play g3. Wait a minute. If you play g3, then I mate. But if you move your king back to h5, then I mate anyway. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Oh, if I play this check, your king goes to g3 and you get off the edge of the board. Okay, I was right the first time. I sort of second-guessed myself. Okay, now, do I have a mate? I don't think so. The computer actually did find a way to stop mate, but I did win a rook. Okay, that was tricky, and the reason that one was so hard is because there were so many checks to look at. Okay, here I'm going to give away my queen. Is the computer going to take... Okay, if the computer did take, I would have played back rank mate, like our 100th back rank mate of the afternoon. Or maybe you're watching in the morning. Do you eat your granola while watching my videos? Do you eat scrambled eggs? All right, I don't know what you're having for breakfast, but I do know I need to solve some more puzzles. For those of you that guessed a very high rating, I'm not just stalling here to frustrate you. I literally don't know the answer. Wait a minute, that's a queen trap. Yes, the white queen is trapped. We have not seen a queen trap yet, but the puzzles are getting harder because our rating is going up. That's how life works. Okay, free rook. Now the computer actually gave us an easy one, and there's only one way to save our queen. We just had to, ooh, wait a minute. Okay, only one way to save our queen again. Okay, the computer was testing us there. The computer was saying, Funmaster Mike, can you play defense? I can, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Computer. Okay, I'm gonna play check, and that gets the king away from the rook. I'm gonna capture the rook. I'm gonna promote the pawn later. Okay, I wanna get to at least 1,800. It's my move. What do I do? Oh, I take, and then I fork. King and queen are for... Oh, the computer's gonna maybe capture the queen. I was trying to hit the next button. Okay, what's going on here? Somehow check is the right move, but when do I play check? I don't know. Oh, wait, maybe that's the right move. Forking the queen and the bishop, but my own queen is hanging. Wait, could check be the right move? If you take with the rook, I take your rook. If you take with the pawn, I take your bishop. That's just a trade, though. Oh, no. What do I do? I legitimately don't know this one. Do I sack my queen and play knight g4? Oh my goodness. If that's the right answer, that's too hard. Oh no, I'm burning time. This is not good at all. It can't be knight f3. Oh, but you know what? My knight's actually in danger, and I'm about to get mated as well. Maybe I have to play defensively here. Okay, if I play here and your pawn takes, then my queen takes. I'm not getting mated. But if I play here and your rook takes, then I take your rook, but your rook goes back. Oh, then I can trade queens on e3? Oh my goodness. Hold your breath. Please tell me it's right. It was right. Okay, hopefully you caught everything I said. That was actually a defensive puzzle. Wow, I am shocked I didn't get that one wrong. Okay, I think we're gonna draw the queen to a square where I can play knight here and attack the queen and the bishop at the same time. Okay, I've got about a minute left and I have to gain a mountain of rating points. I don't know what to do. I think I just take with the, oh, wait a minute. No, I take that way, I take this way. And the king moves and I think I just play check and win the queen. Is that right? There's no mate. Yeah, I'm just gonna play check. Win the queen.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know how I'm going to gain 100 and some odd points. Do I just take this? I'm probably going to get one wrong here because I'm just simply like moving quickly. Came up to 1630 and somehow that's going to be the right answer. I don't know how. It's going to be a pawn mate. 1650. Okay. Okay, let's keep it going. I think I play this check and then a back rank mate. And I got it done. Okay, let's at least get to 1700. That's a new goal. Get to 1700. Oh, I take the knight. Oh, I got it wrong. Oh, I got it wrong. What was the right answer? What was the right answer? Let's hit the answer button. Take the bishop. Oh, and then I've got Alekhine's gun. I've got the queen and 2 rooks on the e-file. Okay, I got one wrong right at the end. Fun Master Mike is human.
Oh.
Takes, bishop blocks. And I think I've got time for one more puzzle. At least on my clock, my time is expiring. And I think this is actually pretty easy. I think I just get my pawn moving and grooving. And I just keep going, go downtown. Run, run, take an Uber to the other side of the board. And time seems to have expired. Okay, so I raised my rating more than 1,000 points in 30 minutes. I will tell you that I might repeat this again, but I might start at this rating of around 1,600. And I don't even know if I can get to 2,000 because the puzzles start getting pretty hard. But I hope you enjoyed this little puzzle race. So apparently it is possible to run while playing chess at the same time. I'm not going to encourage you necessarily to race, but when you go online onto your puzzles account, try to use some of these ideas and just get the highest puzzle rating that you can get. I promise you that doing puzzles over and over is going to make you see chess tricks when they come up against your opponents. See you next time on YouTube, Chess Kids.